Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I will be teaching you how to make a crop top with a button down shirt. If this sounds like what you want to learn, keep on watching and let's get started. Please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please head over to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you get to see the video. So let's dive into this class. Welcome back guys. I have my pencil, my pattern paper, my rulers and the scissors I will be using to cut. So these are the things I will be using for this tutorial. Of course, the measurements I will be working with. So before we draft into the pattern drafting, I will first of all make some calculation for us so that we understand what we are doing. Then the bust measurement I'm working with is 38. So 38 divided by 4, I will have 9.5. Okay, so I will now add 1.5 inches to my 9.5. The 9.5 inches is for the button allowance. So I'm going to have 11 inches when I add 1.5 to my 9.5. Then I'm going to add another 1 inches for the overlapping of the button. Okay, then that gives me 12 inches. Okay, so 12 inches plus half an inch, okay, plus half an inch, that makes it 12.5. the half an inch is for ease of the body. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do, I'm just going to fold the 1.5 inches for the button allowance. This is me folding the 1.5 inches for the button allowance, and I'm just going to confirm it like this. You can see it's a 1.5 inches exactly. So the next step is to use this 1 inches that the 1 inches that we add to our measurement, the extra 1 inches. So we are going to mark the 1 inches, okay, on top of this allowance, this button allowance here. So this means I'm just trying to mark my 1 inches like this on top of the 1.5 inches we fold in. So I'm just trying to mark my 1 inches. So I'm just going to connect all the dots together like this. After connecting, and this is what it will look like. So guys, the next step is to take our measurement. So we are taking our measurement from this line here. So remember we folded 1.5 inches allowance for this button. Okay, before we take my body measurement, I will go ahead to rule a starting line at the top here for my starting line. Okay, so now the next thing is just to take the length of my top. The length of the top I'm working with is 18 inches. Then I added half an inch to it for my sewing allowance. So I'm just going to rule it up like this. So the next thing we are going to take is our shoulder measurement. Just divide your shoulder measurement by 2 and place it at the starting line there. Then I'm just going to mark it. After dividing, I add 8 inches. Then for my chest line, I mark my chest line. How to get your chest line? Divide your bust measurement, divide by 4, divide by 6, add 1.5 inches to it. So this is me, I've divided mine and I have 7.5 inches, or after I have calculated mine. So I added 1 inches for my shoulder slope, making it 8.5 inches. So you can see I write chest line there. Then I go ahead to mark my bust point of 10 inches. So I rule out my bust points there, bust point line. So the next step is to take the width of the shirt. So I'm using 2.05 for the width, and for the depth I also use 2.05. okay, so I'm just going to connect it like this and just extend it to the allowance there like so. Okay, so this is me. Just watch me carefully and see how I connected my neckline. So remember I added 1 inches for my shoulder, for my armhole. Then I'm going to use it as a shoulder slope. Then after that I'm just going to mark what I have from starting from the shoulder slope down to the chest line and divide it what I have, and I'm just going to mark half an inch inward, and I'm just going to mark my bust measurement, divide by 4, and I'm adding half an inch for ease. Okay, and 1.5 for seam allowance. So I'm just going to connect my armhole using my French curve like this, and this is how it is after I've done doing it. It's very well curved. So the next thing for the waist, since it's a crop top, we are going to take whatsoever we have here down to the waistline. We are not shaping anything here. So this is me trying to extend this line here down to the waist. So I'm just going to copy everything I have here to the waist like this, everything there. Then I'm just going to roll it up like this, and this is how it is, guys. So basically we are done with the drafting. We are just going to, before we cut, I'm going to minus 1 inches from the shoulder like this. Just watch me carefully and you are seeing what I am doing. So don't worry, we are going to replace it to the back. Okay, so we are going to cut this off, and this is the end of the drafting of the front. So I'm just going to cut out my pattern. So after cutting, this is how it is. So the next thing, I'm just going to write front at this part here, so to indicate it as the front. So the next thing we are going to do is just go ahead to notch the overlapping, which is the body allowance. Just go ahead to lap it. Then the next step is to bring out another pattern and give it about 2 to 3 inches before you mark your starting line. Then after marking your starting line, just from the starting line you come down by your length, which is the length of the top, which is 18 inches. Then after marking, I'm just going to just extend the dot like this, just to have a straight line. Then I'm just going to use my ruler to just connect the dots like this. So note that this back, we are not adding any allowance. We are just drafting it direct from this part here. Okay, so this is me marking out my shoulder line. Then from the shoulder line I mark my chest line. Then I'm just going to connect it like this. Then after that, I'm just going to connect the shoulder line in a straight form like this. So the next step we are going to take is to mark our neck width. Remember, the neck width is 2.5, but for the depth of the neck, the back is 1 inches. Then I'm just going to connect it with a curve like this. Note that if you don't have a curving ruler, you can actually use your free hand. So this is it. I'm just going to come down by 1 inches for my shoulder slope, and I'm going to connect it to the shoulder width. So the next step is just to take what I have here and divide it into 2. So look for the midpoint here like this, and I'm just going to connect it to my shoulder measurement. So this is me marking my shoulder measurement plus the ease and the allowances. So I'll just give 1.5 allowance, and I'm just going to connect. So this is it for the armhole. So we are just going to replace what we have here to the down. Just go ahead to roll it up like this. So the next step is to complete the shoulder. Remember, we took out 1 inches from the front, so we are going to replace it to the back. So this is me just trying to add 1 inches to the shoulder to complete, as in I will use it to complete the front. Okay, so hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So this is the 1 inches that we took off from the front, so I added it to the back. So I'm just going to connect the shoulder width up like this. So basically we are done with the drafting of the back. So I'm just going to bring out the front to just correspond it with the back. You can see that the side, they are equal. Okay, so the front and the back, they are corresponding together. The next step is to cut. So I'm just going to cut it out. So this is the back and this is the front. So I'm going to transfer that to my fabric. So here it is, guys. I've transferred all the pattern to the fabric, and you can see that for this part I cut out to the front, I cut out 2 of it. So let me just remove the pin from the pattern and see what we cut out. Okay, so you can see I opened this part up, the folding allowance part. I opened it up and I notched where I will fold for my button, which is the 1.5, right? So this is the back. The back is on fold. Okay, the back is on fold, so that is it. And here is the turning of the back. Okay, I just cut out the back for only the back turning. So this is how it looks like for the turning. Okay, so the next step is to remove my pattern from my fabric. So this is the front. I'm just trying to remove the pattern, then I'll just separate the two fabrics. And remember, we notched the button allowance, so I'm just going to fold in half an inch, there fold 1 inches. That is the 1.5 we gave. I fold in half an inch, then I fold in again 1 inches. That is a total of 1.5. So I will take it to my sewing machine and run it down, and I will also do the same thing to this other side. So guys, here it is. I've done that and I've given it a good press. As you can see, it's coming out very beautiful, and you can see that altogether we have 1 inches in between the space. Okay, so I'm just going to take this one aside and let's work with the back. So here is the back. So I'm just going to remove out my pattern from the fabric. Then I'm just going to open it up like this. So I will bring out the facing and go ahead to fold in. Just take it to the right side. I'm looking for the right side. Then I just put it like this on top of the right side, and the first thing I will be doing is to just wrong side on the right side of the fabric. So I'm just going to fold in half an inch and I'm going to toe stitch on it twice. Okay, so here is it guys. I've already sewed it and I gave it a very good press. I double stitch it, and this is how it looks like at the back. So the next step is to bring out the front. Okay, I'm just going to bring the front, and I'll bring one of the fronts to sew for the shoulder. Okay, so what I will do here is to just place the front in between the two facing and the main fabric of the back. You can see I separated the main fabrics and the facing of the back, and I placed the front in between these two. Okay, hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Then I'm just going to take it to my sewing machine and sew it for a neat sewing. So guys, you can see I've sewed it. You can see how neat it is. You can see the front and the back. The sewing is very neat guys. I did the same thing to the other side of the front. So guys, the next step is to take our round measurement for the neck to cut out the collar. So this is my tape. I will use the tape to mark the starting of the front, and I will gradually take it round from the front to the other side of the front. I will pass it through the back side and meet at the front of the second side. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So the camera is not catching this part. I didn't know that as well. So please just understand what I'm saying. I take it from the first edge to the other edge. Okay, so this is the pattern I will use for my drafting of the collar. So I just mark a straight line, which is a starting line. Then for the measurement I have for the round neck, I divided it into two. Okay, I have 18 inches and 17 inches, and I divided into two. So I'm going to mark what I have after dividing my neck round measurement into two. I will mark it here like this. Okay, so after marking, the next step is to come up by 1 inches from this line here. So I'm just going to maintain the 1 inches like so to the end. So after that, I'm just going to roll up my line, which is the dot. So after rolling it up like this, the next step is to come up by 2 inches. Then after marking my 2 inches, so I'm just going to connect the line straight like this. Then after that, I'm just going from this straighted line, I will come in by 1 inches. So I'm just going to connect it this way. After connecting, the next step we are going to do, I will just curve this sharp edge here. I'm just going to curve it. My marker is not that visible here. So let's come to this middle side, which is the center. I will come up by 1.5 inches. Then after that, I'm just going to use my curve ruler to connect these two together. So basically we are done with the drafting of the collar. This is how it is. We are just going to cut it out. So this is it after cutting. I'm just going to transfer it to my fabric, and for this one I'm going to add half an inch all around except the center is unfold. So this is how it is after I open it up. So guys, I've went ahead to sew it. Please, that clip I miss this clip of sewing it. Okay, so this part here I just fold in. I use my hemming gun to hem the both side. I fold in half an inch, and I ensure that one is longer than one by 0.25. okay, so the one that is longer by 0.25, I will place that one at the down part, which the one that is shorter, it will be at the upper part, which is the one that is shorter, it will be at the right side, which the one that is longer by 0.25, it will be at the down part. Okay, so I'm just going to fix in the neck width like this. I'm just going to fix it, and I'm going to sew it close to the edge. Okay, I will first pin it first before I will take it to my sewing machine and I will run a stitch on it. I will just quickly take it to my sewing machine and sew, and I'll bring it for us to see the outcome of it. So guys, this is it. This is the outcome of it. I've sewed it. This is the inside, and it looks very neat. And here's the outside of it. Okay, you can see probably it's beautiful. So I've went ahead to fix in my sleeve. Okay, and I've went ahead to close the edge of my sleeve, and I've also went ahead to close the edge of the top, both the back and the front. So the next thing we are going to do is to flip the front to the back, and remember we add 1.5 inches for our seam allowance, so we are going to close it by the 1.5 inches. So this is it after I have joined both the front and the back together, and this is how it looks like, guys, and I've given it a good press. So this is the two sides. So the next thing we are going to do is to add our buttons and our buttons hole, and definitely this shirt is ready. Please, if you find value in this class, please like this video, comment anything on this video, and share this video. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, and let me put it on my dummy and see the final look. And here is the final look of the shirt we just made. If this video is helpful, please like this video. Thank you for watching. Bye. To see you in my next one.